have been influenced by certain colors or things that I saw on a walk that morning or whatever, or the way the sun's coming through. So I might start painting those shapes in that color and that light. And then the more I paint, the more I react to what I'm painting, and it starts layering itself. When it becomes too apparent of what it might be becoming, sometimes I'll take my sander and just sand it off and undo it so that it becomes less planned again and more obscure. Because the part that I enjoy the most is finding this thing that comes into its own existence without me really controlling it. And that's when I can say, okay, now I know who you are. And maybe I'll finish it with some details or some kind of control or design that I have been, practiced in or whatever. But it's mostly just kind of an unfolding of events that happened in the process. And then when it's finished, I title it. And the title to me is really important. The studies and the transitional pieces aren't really titled because those are more like, that's more like process work, and I don't really title things that I don't consider, a finished piece. But the title is important because, especially for the viewer, because when they see the painting and they read the title, it gives them a little jumping off point to say, oh, I get that, and then they can take it a step further and see how that relates to their life. But I just had a piece that I titled a while ago, and it was a blue painting with a field of white at the bottom and some real rough dark marks. And then at the top of this bright blue, at the top was an orange swatch that kind of bled into the blue a little bit. And then there were some scratchy marks and a little thing that looked like it was floating down this blue, almost like this blue water. And when I looked at it, I thought, oh, this is like a very cool water environment. I'm not going to mess with it too much because it really just happened naturally. But it had this sense of floating and sinking at the same time, and the scratches that were in it, I wasn't quite sure if they were going up or down, or this thing was falling, or was it floating up, or was this orange thing controlling any of that? Was it reflecting on it? And so all the parts to it had a nice dynamic. So when I sat down with it at the end and I titled it Sinking to the Top, because it was kind of a dichotomy of movement and not quite sure of what it was doing, but we knew that it was moving, and we knew that it had a purpose. So anyway, it's fun to title the paintings and have fun with it, kind of put a little mystery behind the piece.